Alrighty guys, here is another fun experiment you've been begging for me to do, and since I'm at home and I can do it outside since we're not in the classroom and we don't make a mess, let's go ahead and let's see what happens when we add Mentos to Coke. So how does this chemical reaction really work? Well, it's mostly due to a process called nucleation, and that's where the carbon dioxide, a gas inside the soda, is attracted to the Mentos. All the carbon dioxide in the soda, all that fizz you're going to see in there, is squeezed into the liquid and looking for a way to come out, and that is what will cause the fizz to explode out of the top. So now that we've done a little bit of background, what kind of science do you think we're doing in this experiment? If you guessed chemistry, you're correct. And if you didn't, that's okay. This is why we're learning about it. So the reason it's used in chemistry is because you're taking two different states of matter, one being in a solid, which is the Mentos, and one being in a liquid, which will be the Coke, and we are combining them and we are seeing what type of reaction will happen. And in this experiment, it's a chemical reaction because we're using two different components in our experiment. So let's see what materials we're going to need. We'll need for this experiment, a couple of them are no-brainer. We're going to need Coke and we're going to need Mentos. You want to get a Coke bottle that's probably a 2 liters so it'll get that funnel reaction for that big explosion at the end. We're also going to use safety goggles again to protect our eyes and make sure we're doing safe scientific experiments. And then we're also going to use an area that's outside or that you don't want to get too dirty and too sticky from the Coke, and make sure you always ask your parents before you perform any type of scientific experiment. Alright, so by now you guys know what time it is before we do our experiment, and what is that? You got it, it's hypothesis time. So go ahead, pause the video, come up with your hypothesis. You probably already know what's going to happen, but just in the spirit of being scientists, let's go ahead and create our hypothesis. Alright, are you guys ready? I am. Let me run outside real quick again, just like our other experiment we did with the elephant toothpaste. Let's go do it outside where we won't make a mess. Alright, now that I am outside, we are ready to do our Coke and Mentos experiment. Alright, so you guys have been asking for this for a long time since I started, so thought while we're doing online videos and I can't be there and we can't do Coke and Mentos in classroom, I have the equipment to do it outside. So I'm going to set this up for you and we're going to see what happens. So once you have your safety glasses on, we are ready to go. Also remember, if you're going to do this at home, make sure you ask your parents first, and if it's okay with them, and make sure they help you with it, okay? Also, what do you think is going to happen when we put the Mentos in the Coke? Remember what we did in class? We did a hypothesis. So remember you wrote down your hypothesis in the beginning of the video? Okay, so we're going to see that the Mentos is going to go into the Coke and it's going to sink to the bottom and it's going to cause carbon dioxide. And that's going to dissolve and that's going to trap all those little air bubbles at the bottom, and that's what's going to cause the explosion. Okay, so before we add the Mentos, you want to think about what's going to happen, and you also want to stand back once it goes off, okay? So let's start putting them in. And there you have it. But now I'm all sticky, covered in Coke. I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna come up with some more videos to make for you guys and show you some experiments. I'll see you guys soon.